What's up, YouTube family? It's your boy King Abe Forex here, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys an amazing strategy that you guys can use to grow your account fast. That's the strategy I'm going to be showing you guys in today's video. So without further ado, let's take a look at the charts and let's get this video started.
Alright guys, so in today's video I want you guys to understand that by the end of this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys a spreadsheet that you guys can use for this strategy and be able to grow and compound your account fast. Now, looking at this time frame here, we're looking at the 4-hour time frame. Now, the reason why we on the 4-hour time frame is because we need to make sure we're following the trend. We need to understand and identify the overall trend, even though we're going to be taking our positions on the lower time frame. In this case, we're going to be taking our positions on the 15-minute time frame. So now we're going to take a look at two examples each, two buy examples and two examples each. Now the first example we're going to look at, we're going to start with this most recent buy position here. Then we're going to take a look at another buy example. Now the things we're going to do here is we're going to identify our support and resistance zones. Now if you look at this here, looking at this on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we clearly in an uptrend. So we can go back to the 4-hour time, to the H1 time frame, which is the 1-hour time frame, and you can see clearly that we absolutely in an uptrend. So now that we've identified the trend, we know that we only need to be looking for buy positions. So we're looking to take buy positions. So we can see here that we had a previous resistance here to the left, and it became a resistance here on the right as well. Resistance here, and previously resistance here to the left hand side. Now we can also see that we had a support zone here to the right, and if I move this all the way, we can also see that we had previous support zones to the left hand side as well. We got support here and we got support here as well, and became support here to the right as well. Now that we've identified our zones, now we can go to the 15-minute time frame here, and what we're going to do here is, before you take any positions at all, it doesn't matter if you're trying to take a buy position or a sell position. Now we need price to break and close above our resistance zones. Now there are two ways you can get in a position. You can either get in after the break and close, which is the breakout strategy, or you can wait for a break and retest, then you get in your position. Now in this case, we cannot get in after the break and close, because if you do that, then you're going to have a huge stop loss. Here we're looking at about 50 to 55 pip stop loss here. That's too huge of a stop loss. Now, but what we can do in this case, you wait for a pullback, and if there's no pullback, well, you just got to wait until you get the pullback, or you look for another pair to trade. And when you're using this strategy, I recommend you only trade 1 to 2 pairs. So look for 1 to 2 pairs that you love trading, and that's it. Do not trade more than 2 pairs. Now, in this case, we have a break above our resistance zone. We wait for a pullback. Now, waiting for a pullback, we wait for an engulfing candle here. Then we get in here at this bullish engulfing candle here. Now in this case, I can have my stop loss right below this low that price created. Now instead of me having 50 pip stop loss, now I have 20 to 25 pip stop loss. I mean, that's way better than 50 pips, right? Now that I've had my entry and using this strategy, the goal is to get 10 to 20 pips a day. You're only trying to compound your income, but at the same time, always leave a runner. Even though sometimes you're not going to get a runner, but I promise you, most of the time, if you leave a runner, you always gonna be able to make more money than you would have made if you were just looking to get 10 to 20 pips and you're out of the trade. Now that we have our entry, what are we going to do about our TP? Now we have our 20 pips stop loss here, our 20 pips. Now what I do is, instead of me targeting 20 pips, I usually target 25 pips here on TradingView because of the broker spread. So I leave a little bit of room to be able to have exactly 20 pips by the time I take partial profit or the trade hits my TP. So now we have 25 pips here, just see it as 20 pips. So now, but for our take profit target, all we have to do here is to go back to the 4-hour time frame, and I see that I could just target this zone here. I could target that zone there, and at the same time I could also target this zone here if I'm looking for more take profit. Now I'm anticipating that price is eventually going to get back to this previous resistance zone here to the left, looking here at the 4-hour time frame. Now I can go back to the 15-minute time frame. I can go back to the 15-minute time frame here, and my 20 pips has been smashed already. Guess what? Now I'll move my stops to entry. Stops has been moved to entry. Now I have my TP here. My TP here was for 38 pips. My TP was smashed. Guess what? I have a runner already. Now I can take another partial profit if I want to, or I can just let it to keep running. And here, the final TP here, we're looking at 84 pips here. Now guess what? Now that you have 84 pips, I'm not saying you have to close out the trade. All what you need to do is you can take partial profit as well if you want to, but while you do that, make sure you move your TP, you wait for price to create another low, then you move your TP, your stop loss right there to that low. And we can see if we move that stop loss here, we would have moved it to this low here, and we just leave a runner. And just look at this thing. If you had left a runner, let's say you eventually got stopped out here. You got stopped out here because price created another low here. You're looking at 105 pips that you actually caught, because if you look here, you would have moved your stop loss to this low here, and then you would have been stopped out. So altogether, you actually got altogether you were able to get, let me delete this, altogether for this trade you were able to get let's see here, altogether for this trade you were able to get 103 pips. So let's just say 100 pips. Just look at that, you eventually get 100 pips instead of you getting 10 to 20 pips. So this is how you'll be able to compound and grow your account fast. So let's go back to the 4-hour time frame, and let me show you guys one more by examples. Show you one more by example. I'm trying not to make this video too long. So here we do the same thing. We can see that we had a previous resistance here, so we had support, here, support became resistance, then it became resistance here again as well. And we can also see that we had a previous support here, and we had a previous support here. So now that you've identified your zones, now we can go to the 15, look for that zone. We look for that zone, and here we found the zone. Now what we can do here is the same thing. Now the first example that I showed you guys, now we have a break and close above our resistance. Now what we're going to do here, now we can have our buy position right here. Stop loss is just going to be right below our zone here. We have stop loss right below our zone there. We're looking at 20 to 25 pips right there, and we target 25 pips, even though we're looking at 20 pips, but for the sake of the broker spread, I like to leave more room. And here we have our 25 pips smashed, but we always want to leave a runner. Now we have that smash, we took partial profit, we move stops to entry. Now stops has been moved to entry. Now we go to the H4. We go to the H4 to look for a potential take profit target, and in this case I could target this previous support zone here. I could simply target this previous support zone here, and I could target this previous resistance zone here as well. Could target this previous resistance zone as well, which was support initially and became resistance. And I could also target this, resistance here if I want to, and so on and so forth. Now we go back to the 15-minute. So we go back to the 15-minute. Now we already secured 20 pips, and we trying to leave a runner. And we have this first TP here, which was smashed. We're looking at 58 pips here. Now you have that. You took more partial profit, or you let the trade run. Now you wait for price to create a low, and the low was created here. You move your stop loss to this new low here, and you just simply let the trade run. You just simply let the trade run. And here, if we look at this, now we have this next target right here. Now this next target here, we can see that this next target actually took days. This next target here actually took days, as you guys can see. Now you have your low here. You wait for price to create another low. You move your new stop loss to this low that price actually created. So you move your new stop loss here, and now you just still in a risk-free trade, and you've actually made more money, and you're just simply waiting for price to finally hit your TP. And here price hit your TP as well. And if you still want to be in the trade, you move your TP to the next take profit. We're looking at 187 pips altogether, and you move your stop loss to the next low. So this is how you do it, guys. You just keep trading your stop loss. You're trying to ride the trade till the wheels falls off. That's all you're trying to do. So in this one here, instead of you getting just 10 to 20 pips, you eventually got 187 pips. So guys, now I'm going to show you guys a sell example. I'm going to show you guys a sell example. I think I'm just going to show you guys one more sell example. It's the same process. I don't want to make this video too long. So now what we need to look for is to identify the trend, and we can see that we absolutely in a downtrend. Looking at this trend line here. So now what we're going to do is to look for our support and resistance zones. So we go here, we can see that we previously had a support here. We can see that we had a support right there that was initially a resistance zone. If we look at this to the left hand side, we can see it was initially a resistance zone right there, and we all have this high here that you can mark if you want to, and we also have this resistance zone here as well, as you guys can see. So now that we've identified those zones, now it's time for us to go to the 15-minute time frame. So we go to the 15-minute time frame here, and we just look for that zone real quick, and we'll be able to take our sell position. All right, so we have this zone right here. Now what we're going to do here is that we're simply waiting for price to break and close below our support zone that we marked on the 4-hour time frame. And here we have the break and close, so we can get in right here at this bearish candle. So we get in at that bearish candle right there, and guess what? We have our stop loss above this zone here. We're looking at 24 pips here. And for our take profit, obviously before that we have our 20 pips that we're trying to target. Now we have our 20 pips smashed here. Now what we're going to do is going to go back to the 4-hour time frame just to look for a potential take profit target that we can actually target. And looking at this here, I see that I can actually target this zone here. I can target this zone here. I can also target this zone here, because we can see that we have support zones right over there. So I can target this zone here as well. And if I need more zones, I can simply also target this support zone right over here, looking at this to the left hand side. So now we're going to go back to the 15-minute time frame here. We're going to go back to the 15-minute time frame, and we just simply look for that zone. There it is. So we have our 20 pips smashed here. Now we move stops to entry. Now we in a risk-free trade, and we took partial profit as well. And our TP, which was right here, was altogether 58 pips. We have 58 pips here. Now in this case, once your TP gets smashed, take another partial profit, or you can get out the trade if you want to. At least you still got more than 20 pips. But in this case, we can see the price pulled back and did what? We eventually got stopped out here. Now that happened, you had an opportunity to get in again, because here we can see what we had was a break here. Price came down, pulled back to the previous support zone, created a resistance here, and guess what? If you want to get in again, you actually would have been able to get in this trade right over here. Now what are you going to do? You're going to move your stops above this zone here. You put your stops above the zone there, and guess what? You target your 20 pips. You target your 20 pips. 20 pips was smashed here. Now you move your stops to break even. You have your TP here. TP got smashed. You're looking at 50 pips here, and guess what? Now we can move your stop loss right over here, because now price created this low. So price created this low right over here. So since we have price creating this low here, our stop loss will be there. And now we're going to have another target here. Now we definitely going to make more money even if price pulls back. But in this case, price didn't pull back. We can see price gets all the way down here, and altogether we had 102 pips. We eventually won 102 pips here, and previously you actually won 50 pips as well. Altogether you had 200 pips altogether. So guys, this is exactly how you guys can use this strategy to grow and compound your account. So now let me show you the spreadsheet I was talking about. Now this is the spreadsheet I'm talking about. You start from $50 as your starting balance, and you just simply have everything you need, and God willing, this should only take you 46 days. No, we also have the weekend and stuff, and I'm not saying this is going to be a smooth ride. You're going to just win every single trade. It's impossible. But by you not over leveraging and not over risking, you will still be able to compound your account and grow your account size. And everything you need is just right over here. The only thing that's not here is your stop loss, because I decided to leave that to you. Some of you might only be looking for 10, 15 pips or 20 pips stop loss. So I left that alone for you guys. Stop loss, that's going to be your decision, and your account size risk is just 1%. That's all you're risking. You can see here $50, 1% of $50, that's 50 cents. So that's going to be your first lot size if you have a $50 account. So all you have to do is to just follow this spreadsheet and use this spreadsheet to compound your account. This is actually a 20 pips profit here. That's all you're going to target. If all you get is 20 pips, then just call it a day. And then sometimes you might be able to get 20 pips using the strategy that I just showed you earlier. Just follow the same exact process.
I hope you guys find value in that video. If you found value in that video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, and turn on the bell notification so you guys don't miss any of my future videos. And if you want to be part of my live streams, daily New York sessions live streams, consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace and love.
A feel of discontent.